Let's see what we're doing today. We got a clock. We bought a clock today. Got a good deal on this thing. And there it is laying there. Let me set it up. Let's look at this thing. I'm going to be working on this today. Let me turn this radio off. We've heard enough talking heads for one day here. Okay, you got an old clock. Looks like it fell off a shelf to me. Hey, the face it's an alarm clock. The winders are down here. That tells me this is probably an 8-day clock, and I'm guessing it's a New Haven. Might be wrong. I'm going to get it apart and find out what it is. Might be a New Haven. And let me lay it down on its old back here. And we got this. This is loose right here, so that gives me an indication that it probably fell off a shelf or fell from some high place. Luckily, the glass didn't break because the glass is pretty cool in this one. I'm going to guess from the 1870s. I don't know if I said that yet or not. It's got some veneer missing here. We're going to fix that up. And also, it knocked everything loose in the clock. The movement's just laying in there. As you can see, that's the wood and everything is just kind of thrown in there, so it must have knocked the movement out. Looks like it's going to work, though. And we'll see. I'm going to take her apart and check it out and see if there's anything bent on it or whatever. See what kind of clock it is. I'm thinking New Haven. And I got a few New Haven clocks. I'll show them to you. Let's see if we can see them. Here's one right here. Now that's a 30-hour clock, but as you can see, it's got a lot of similarities, the face and everything, but you see where the winders are. They're a little bit closer to where the hands come out there. Yeah, that's a 30-hour. Also, here's a 30-hour New Haven clock here, if you can see it. Right there. I usually don't wind those, but you can see it's a similar type of case and everything. Similar type of a design around the face. That one there is about a 1870. The first one I showed you over here, that's from about 1866, they said, when I got it. I've had that clock a long time. I wind them up. They keep perfect time, but like I said, they're 30-hour clocks. So, okay, I'm going to get busy on this thing, and let's see what we can do. I got to do some gluing. I got to do some fixing on that veneer there. And I think I'm going to end up scraping the rest of that veneer off is what I'm going to do, because I don't think anybody's going to ever notice it. I mean, this is not a $500 clock. I'm going to take a razor blade and do some neat work on this right here and stain that, and kind of rub this finish down with some steel wool and go over it with some stain, and I think it's going to just, oh yeah, just like socks on a duck right there. Okay, we'll get back to you later. All right, we got the movement out of this thing. Got the clock movement, or the face off of it. Face is a little bit worn, but hey, it's 150 years old. This case is pretty ragged. I found these wood blocks all apart, and it must have hit hard. I'm gonna have to figure out how that went back together. It looks like it's in 3 pieces. This wood block that's what holds the movement in. So this wood block looks okay. Obviously this wood block would have went down here and held the movement in. So I'll have to figure out, either make a new one or try to glue this back together to see if I can make it work. But that would have went on the bottom here, I'm pretty sure, and held that bottom, where this top one would have went here on the top. It's got this groove in there and would have held that. I don't think I have a clock that's put together that way. Those might be. I never had them apart, but yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, I got this one block glued back together, figured out how the pieces are supposed to be, and clamped it together. There's supposed to be a slot right here, and the movement will go into that slot, and that's what holds the movement in. So we'll let that sit for about an hour. Hey, those are my old band cards there, the old Stony Ridge band cards. Thank God for Vistaprint. Yeah, I got plenty of cards left in case we fire back up for the next year after the coronavirus, but that's, for right now, that's a good spacer. Alrighty. Okay, I'm all set with this clock here. Been working on this thing all evening, and it's looking pretty good. I believe this to be an old New Haven clock in the 1870s. I don't know if you recall exactly how it looked, but you know, I took some real fine steel wool. The top of this clock was black. And let me move this light around, maybe it'll help take a look at it here. I got it as best I can get it. There's a few nicks and scratches, and a few pieces of the veneer is moved, or gone I should say. I touched up the painting that there was, some of it was missing, so I kind of touched that up. Kind of touched up the veneer. I bet you can't even tell what I did. I took a razor blade and peeled the rest of the veneer off. Then I sanded that down and I stained it right there where the veneer was. Let's see if she's running. No, it's not running. I see I got to be working on that now. Oh, you know what? We moved it. There we go. Sounds like a strong runner, I guess. And also this particular clock, I think it's an 8-day because of the things are down here. And let's see if the alarm works. I set it for about 4 o'clock. There's the bell, 3 bells. Not much of a ding on the bells, but here we go. All right, let's see what happens here. Oh, it's letting me down. Maybe I put it on some other time, I don't know. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. I put it on 5, not 4. And can you imagine getting up to that every morning? Wow. Well, there she is. She's all set, ready to go. It's the best I can get it. And I like to thank the young lady for selling that to me. I enjoyed working on it, and I got it going. I just can't believe, though, how much of an improvement I got on the case of this clock. It's still got some rough edges, no doubt. But this case, it was black. And I just took some very fine steel wool and some glass cleaner and started working that out, and that black came right off of there. I don't know if that was paint or dirt from 150 years of dirt. There was no markings on the movement, but I have a couple of New Haven clocks, and there's a lot of similar designs on the clocks. This is a nice clock, actually. And she runs good, she runs strong, and I'm going to take it upstairs and put it in the office for a while and let it run out there. There's a couple of things you need to do when you get a clock running. You got to set the pendulum if it's fast or slow, and you also might need to set the beat, which is, there's a little thing underneath the dial right here. It's a little a brass rod, and sometimes you got to bend it one way or the other. You can also bend the suspension spring rod too a little bit if you can. And what you do is lift up the clock one way or the other, and when it starts ticking right, and bend that the way you lifted it up, and usually you have pretty good luck with that too. I might have to do that. Let's see if she's still ticking. Oh yeah, strong runner. Okay, talk to you later. Got another clock to work on here pretty soon. Maybe I'll make a video of that. Love it. Bye now. It's all set. Not a bad finish on this old clock.